This is AI.R. Artists in Residence Broadcasting, coming to you once a week from New York City.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What are we going to talk about, darling?
Well, introduce us. They don't know who we are.
I'm John Cullum, and this is Emily Frankel. I'm sure you know who she is.
I'm sure you know who he is.
Well, there you go.
Well,
we're together. I'm her husband.
And I'm your wife.
That's right.
We are going to do a little discussion for M's Talkery, my blog, about a word that I heard a wonderful, young, talented singer, actress named Jennifer Hudson talk about. Zoning.
Zoning?
Zoning.
You mean like zoning out?
Zoning. She used the word zoning, and I thought, that's strange. And then as she was talking about her work and about concentration, I realized that that word, that sense that she was describing, that thing that she does is very, very, very important. It's something that John does and that I do, but we all do it in different ways. How do you zone in when you have a job to do? What do you do? Do you push away the rest of the world? Do you say a prayer? What do you do?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what I'm zoning in on.
You were reading a script today.
Yes.
And there were lots of things to do.
Yeah.
Silly things, mail and tinkering things. You were fixing something for me, and whenever you fix something for me, you don't zone in, you're just fixing.
Right.
But you zoned in on the script that you were reading.
Yeah.
What do you do to zone in?
Well, I don't know whether it's a result of practice or whether it's just a result of being one. I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. It seems like.
I concentrate on about 3 things at a time.
But you can take it from me that that's true.
But John closes all that out and focuses like a telescope. What do you do?
Well, when I become interested in a script, I go into the script. I'm there, and I'm the same way when I'm reading a book. I don't retain things very well. I'm not very smart when it comes to being, educated about. And I've read a lot of great books, but the one thing that I do is I go there. I'm
to the place,
yeah,
to the environment.
Yeah, I'm the people too. I empathize with.
Do you take in all the characters? Pretty
much so. I feel for the villains and the heroes both, and for the women and for. Yeah, I pretty much immerse myself in the characters.
See, I think that John takes in the whole environment and embraces it all. And so the zone that he takes on is a larger zone, whereas I gather a great deal of information about this and this and this and this, and my mind is all over the place. And the time of zoning in for me, I think, is shorter. I think you're a better zoner in than I am.
Well, I don't know about that. I could talk about the way you do things, which is extraordinary. You have a different kind of mind than I have. Frank, in the zoning in, you're explaining something that is probably true too, but you also have a mechanical mind. Not only do you observe people and retain information about everybody that you come in contact with, you generally know the story of their life within.
But this is sort of a photographic memory. I remember details. That may be from learning dance steps.
Well, it also applies to computers. You learn a routine, and sometimes you don't know what the hell it's all about at all. It doesn't seem to make any difference to you. You can go through the process, and then half an hour later you can go through that same process by memory.
Well, what I really wanted to say was this thing of zoning in seems to me to be very precious, and that each of us has a different way of zoning in, but that if you are an artist, if you are a performer, if you're a creative artist, writer, painter, you still need to eliminate what's all around the ideas of fame and fortune and money and success and zone in. That's all.
Well, that's a very interesting thing, and I do think that you've touched on a point that's very important to me as a performer, and I do have the ability to focus.
I like you.
I like you too, particularly
Okay.
when you find out good things about me.
Okay. So that's the discussion we've had about zoning.
Yeah, we're glad to talk to you, and we'll see you
Next
week.
This is AI.R. See you next week.